Welcome back to Prophecy Unfolding. It's so good to be here with you guys. This is a question that's been asked to me so many times, so I decided just to make a very short, as short as I can video on this topic. What I would ask you to do is have a little bit of patience, just slightly put aside the emotions because it's a controversial topic, and really just have a see and have a look of what exactly should be in place in order for the mark of the beast to be here. Try watch it all, get the full context. You know where I am, guys. I always leave my email down in the description box if you want to get in touch. Watch all this. God bless you, and I'll see you on the other side. Kind of topic at the moment, and many people are asking if the mark of the beast is here. Is it something that we're seeing implemented today? Now, what I wanted to do to make this quick, I'm going to try to keep this short to about 8 minutes, guys. Most of the scriptures that we'll see here are all in Revelation 13, but just to give you the qualifications to know when the actual mark of the beast is here and what needs to be in play in order for the mark of the beast. Now, some of the most common concepts of the mark of the beast, as you can see, is obviously 666, being obviously the number of the beast, etc., or having a tattoo on your hand or a microchip in the hand. Some people say it's the Sunday law, and then obviously you can see this. I can only say so much. Some people say the things that's going on today is the implementation of the mark of the beast. But you know, when we look at scripture and we see what actually has to happen in order for the mark of the beast to be implemented, we can see exactly kind of the outlay of what has to happen. And when we read in Revelation 13, the first thing we should see, and forgive me for the light here, guys, is the first beast, which is the Antichrist, should be on the scene. And the big question that people will ask is, who is the Antichrist? And there's loads of different kind of variations people say, but for me, in my own understanding, this beast has not arrived yet. And some of the things that this beast does, obviously he has 42 months to wage war. People worship this beast that comes. People actually worship him for the things that they do, because they turn around and ask who can wage war with the beast. Obviously he wages war on the saints and he overcomes them. And the big thing to realise about this actual part, when he overcomes them, when you look at the word that's used, it means to subdue or quieten them, to keep them suppressed. You know, a lot of times we were told that he kills all of them. Now we know there's a lot of people, a lot of saints who are killed, but in this instance, this word means they are subdued, they are quietened. Now we are seeing parts of that today, but there's still too many here. The voices of believers are still very, very loud. And obviously then this first beast gets a fatal wound, so people will think he's going to die. But the main thing that we have to look at here, guys, is that also the second beast will be on the scene. And we'll see the second beast, some will call the false prophet. Now this beast also has the same power to use and has the authority to use all the power of the first beast. And the two of them are on the scene at the same time. We also see that this beast, signs and wonders, pulls fire down from heaven. And we have to believe that when we're reading this scripture, that a lot of this stuff is physically going to be seen. You know, we have to be able to separate and divide the word correctly when it comes to physical and spirituality. And I believe this will be a massive sign. And I'll tell you what I believe at the end, what way this will actually look. But this beast also causes us to build an image in terms of the first beast. And when you look at the word that's been used, it's a statue-like image. But this beast also has the power to give life to the image. And it gives life so that it can talk. And it's this image then that causes all those who do not worship the image of the beast to be killed. And we can see that further down. And it causes all to worship. And this means to prostrate oneself in homage, which means actual worship. So these people don't feel forced into it. They will actually worship the image of the beast. And whatever things that happen, whatever is surrounding it, people will look and say, yeah. And the word that's been used on that, it's also the same word for a dog who kisses his master's hand, or who knows who his master is. This is the same type of worship that's going to happen when this time comes about. You know, this one as well, in terms of giving life, because many people have coined it up saying it's not going to be legit, but the word that's used, this is when he says that this beast will give life to the image, is the same word that was given for the breath of God with Adam. So he's going to breathe life into him, when we can call it AI, but this thing is going to come to life. Now these two things will be in play, they will coincide with each other when the mark of the beast comes. And when you read down through Revelation 13, a lot happens, so we'll see the first beast and all the things that he has to do. Then the second beast comes on board, and it's around this stage. He causes all to worship, and then he causes people to take the mark, which we know is 666 is the number of the name, and obviously the whole concept around of what the mark will be, I've left that open. It can be a bit of everything. We obviously know the 666 is the number of the name. We know it's going to be on the right hand or on the forehead. And it will cause people to break all of the law, not just one particular in terms of the Sunday law, and it can be implemented in a way such like this. But when we look at the mark, its actual self, when we read into what the mark is, this is the word that's used, which means etching, or it's coined up as a stamp that they would have used for coinage. So it's going to be something that's visible to the eye when we look at what those actually mean. Now when they break that down further, it does say about a sharp object doing it. We know that tattoos are sharp, etc. But it's not kind of what I wanted to get into. What I wanted to show, guys, is that today, I believe, what we're seeing at the moment is scary, but I don't believe that it's the mark of the beast, but I treat it like it is, if that makes sense. So I'm not obviously giving credence to it, telling people to do it, but I would say it's not the actual mark of the beast. I think we don't have enough evidence that these are here. All of the evidence I see that people pull up, oh well, you know, the first beast could be this, that, or the other, and the second beast, it's what I call stretching, it's gone too far. And I believe that we are close to seeing this happen. And what we're seeing at the moment in terms of this is similar to what it's going to look like then. But, you know, you have to ask the question, what do we have now in terms of what leader do we have now that the whole world will worship, or even a huge portion of the world is going to actually worship this thing? I just don't believe that we're there yet. I do believe that we're in a season of what we call disclosure, and I believe, personally speaking, this is going to be similar to what happened in Genesis 6. It's going to be a distribution of gene that should not be there. It's going to change people to be more kind of what we would call more like them. Genesis 6 is a different day's topic, which I'll get into another time. But I just want people, because many people have been worrying about this, and I really did do my homework on this for a long time, and I just don't believe that we are here yet. I believe we're close. Obviously, from a standpoint of view from the rapture, if you believe that it's pre-trib, we're not here for this anyways. But regardless of that, I do not believe that it's there. Is what's going on kind of evil and despicable? Yes, and I do believe we have to try to take as much of a stand as we can. But still, at the moment, I believe there is still more to come, and we're looking out for all the different signs, etc. And you see on the channel so many things that I put out. The one thing I would kind of ask us is we should encourage each other. Yes, we may have different points of views on this, guys, but we should be really encouraging each other. And I'll say it all the time, iron sharpens iron. But really the two main things, if you take anything away from this, he's going to cause those to worship. People are going to bow down and prostrate themselves to this image that comes along. It's going to happen that way. And the mark, I believe, is something that's going to be etched or stamped in, so it's going to be something that is physical. And we have a lot of things there that it could potentially be. I can't say so much on this because we know what YouTube, etc. is like. But if I was kind of throw out this, guys, to be encouraged, and I always say this, regardless of everything we see or what's going on in the world, and many people will have issues and problems, be encouraged. Even as we see the world getting darker, we as believers should shine brighter in these times. God is always in control, guys. keep the faith.